Kayla Carroll. I am the Ore Council Day Camp Program Director this year for our Cub Scouts, and I want to welcome you to our first ever video training for our volunteer staff, and those would be the people that come to lead the stations at our day camps. I want to say thank you to all of you who volunteer to be on our staff. We actually do 29 days of camp over the summer, and we have about 3,000 boys come to visit us, and we have a new staff every day. So that means there's nearly 1,000 of you that come to lead these fun stations and teach the boys. And the better we can support you, the better you'll be prepared to teach them and to have a great day at camp. Let me give you some tips for the day of camp. Arrival times are as follows. If you're doing a one-day camp with the Cub Scouts, you'll need to be at camp at 7 a.m. at the various locations. And if you're doing a Webelos camp, either day 1 or day 2 of Webelos camp, you'll need to be there at 12 noon. The reason we arrive early before all the boys is so that we can unload the trailer and set up each station and just be ready for them when they get there. Then you need to bring a lunch with you and a water bottle. You can bring a camp chair if you want, and you can also bring a pop-up or an umbrella for some shade. We do have trees at most of our camp locations, but I can't guarantee that everybody's going to get a tree. So if you want to bring your own shade, that's great. If you don't need to use it, you can leave it in your car or whatever. Then at the end of the day, after the last station is done, there's 10 stations throughout the day. We'll load up. You can have your last group of boys help you pack your tote and clean up all the station stuff, and then you'll take it back over to the trailer and help us load it if you would please. That gets us all home a little bit earlier, and we're usually done loading the one-day camps by 4 o'clock, sometimes earlier, and the Webelos camps will be all packed up and ready to go home before 9 o'clock, I'm sure. So welcome to the videos. I'm going to go through each tote separately, and there'll be a video for each one. And we'll see you on your day of camp. Hi, welcome to boot camp. This is going to be our active relay station. So we'll break up into teams and run those boys so they're tired. Okay, so when you get to camp in the morning, like I said, we're going to unload the trailer. And you will find this tote that says boot camp on it. And you'll also find 2 climbing walls. On the tote there'll be a list of supplies that should be inside, as well as some that might not be in the tote because they're too big. So just take a look, or keep an eye out for that. You will have your station write-up folder. It has instructions on how to run the station, and it has a map or diagram on how to set it up. Let's empty the tote and see what's in there. We've got our 2 canine unit dogs. We have 2 bean bags, 2 bells, and we'll have some bike tires, which I don't have at my house right now. So we're gonna just pretend that this snake is a bike tire. And there'll be a lot more than that. So then, when you get to the area that your station will be, you'll wanna set up your relay race, or your boot camp track. So, kind of zoom in here on this map. I'm doing another map that'll be a little easier to read, but this will be good enough for the video. So you'll have 2 teams of boys, and you'll have a start line, and then they'll the 2 first boys in the line will come and do the beanbag toss. So we've got a beanbag for each team, and they'll do it like an egg toss. So they'll start really close together, and then they'll back up until they don't catch it, or you just give them a time limit. And then after they finish the beanbag toss, they'll give both beanbags to one of the boys, and he'll go wait. And then the other boy will grab his canine, one of these. So he's got to take his canine through the rest of the course with him. And then he'll do the tires, he'll do the climbing wall, and then he'll do a ground crawl. And then he'll sprint and hit the bell and run back to the beginning. And then he will do the beanbag toss again with the next boy, and then he'll go to the end of the line. Does that make sense? So the first boy will get to do the beanbag toss twice, but it just makes the flow go better. So let me just kind of show you kind of spacing on that. So you'll do the beanbag toss, And then they have to pick up their canine unit. And then we'll have the tires set up. I don't know how many we'll have yet. And the tires will just go on the ground and they have to run through them like that. And then we'll have the climbing walls set up. And then they'll sprint down a space. And ring the bell. And then they sprint back and do the beanbag toss again. So that kind of gives you an idea. We don't want to take up too much space at camp, but we do want to have it spread out enough so that the boys have a good chance to run and just get some energy out. There'll be 10 stations a day, so at the end of each station, you'll need to reset anything that needs reset, put the dogs back where they go, the bean bags at the start. If you have any questions during the day, find one of the directors in the green shirts. We'll be happy to help you. Make sure that the boys get plenty of water while they're at your station. It's going to be hot. You'll most likely be out in the sun a lot. If you do want to bring a pop-up for shade that they can kind of rest in if they need to, that's fine. And we'll try to have you on the edge of the trees so you'll have some natural shade as well. But we'll have spritzer bottles at every station and water coolers so they can fill up their water bottles. Spray them down with the spritzer bottles. It's really nice and refreshing for those boys, especially the ones who come in the afternoon. And just have fun with it. If you find that they run through the relay super fast and you've still got 20 minutes left in your station, shake it up a little bit. Have them rearrange the order or have them, you know, just do it in different ways. I think there's some other ideas in the boot camp write-up. Be sure and take a look at this. You should be getting an email with the write-up from your volunteer coordinator. And we're so excited to have you at camp, and we'll see you then.